Hey, good evening. It's Friday night. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me this evening. I want, as always, every Friday night for the last 4 years, stepping into your Friday, your life, and bringing you encouragement, words of hope, tools in which you can use. I am a domestic mediator. I'm also a divorce coach, and I have held support groups for the past 16 years, working with hundreds of men and women going through the trauma of divorce. Always have a topic and always have announcements too. So let's start there. Some announcements. Of course, ask questions, make comments. Text me if you'd like to pose a question or connect with me individually. I do first 30 minutes free consult with you. So any questions that you have that I can help you through that process, I'd be more than happy to do that. Starting support groups coming up. That is April 19th in person if you are in the Grand Rapids area, April 20th if you are anywhere else in the world with internet. So come and join us. The one in person is 10 weeks. The one online is 12 weeks because we spend a little less time together. So I want to make sure that we have ample time to cover the material that you need to get through as you proceed through a divorce. So the question tonight was, how do you stand up for yourself? And this was inspired by someone that I met with and was working with this week who really did not have a plan and was all in reactionary mode. So the spouse had a plan, had a list of 20 things in which they had planned, she had planned. He didn't have a plan. He didn't have any plan. He was simply reacting to what she was throwing at him. So this is not a time to play defense. It is a time to have a plan. So to stand up for yourself, you have to have a plan. So the sooner you can get your plan together, the better. And it is vitally important whether you are going through a divorce right now or you are after a divorce and you're redesigning your life. You need a plan. Many of us have spent too many years being a reflex to our own life. And now is a time for that to stop. Now is a time for you to be proactive and determine what is the plan and how do you want the rest of your life to go? Because no one comes to your house, to your life and says, hey, here's the plan for your life. I'm handing it over to you. You just have to follow these steps. Doesn't work that way. It is a struggle. It is a responsibility to come up with a plan that you want for your future. So, how do we do that? First of all, I think being a woman of Christian faith, that we have to first commit our plans to the Lord, and He will establish them. He will establish them. He will guide you when you commit your plans to the Lord. He is always there, always wanting to be involved in your life for your good. So commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So you have to determine what is your plan and who are you getting advice from for this plan. We can't do this life thing alone. We need advisors. We need people who have been the path in front of us. They know things that we could not possibly know. So who are you getting advice from in your life? Are you one of those who simply decides on their own what they're going to do? We lack and we mess up when we do not have people who are trustworthy advisors to us. Scriptures say plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Find that network of experts that you need in whatever area you are venturing into. You may know a lot about it. You may decide, okay, I'm going to start a new business, and you know a lot about starting a new business. You know a lot about the business world. But no one starts a venture like that without consulting with someone who knows more or maybe the same, but can see a different perspective for you. We need other people to help us, to move forward, to give us perspective, to give us ideas, to give us support. So, what is your plan? How are you standing up for yourself? You stand up for yourself when you have a plan. If you don't have any plan, you are floundering and you're just kind of out there and you're just going to respond to the stimuli that comes at you. That's not what God intended for your life. It's not what God intended for your life. He wants to partner with you. In fact, if you're wise, you will let Him do the leading, but to partner with you, to move forward, to make a plan, create a plan, and to step into that plan. So, next question. Why is this your plan? Why have you decided to do this? Does it have to do with your core values? Does it have to do with your dreams or your goals? Why? Why is this your plan? And I know if you've heard different people, like Simon Sinek is someone who talks about what's your why and how important it is for us to understand what's our why, what's motivating me, what's motivating me with my plan, and where do I want to go to it? And how does this fit into the big picture? How does this fit into my whole life? I know I've shared with many of you the lifeline, your lifeline, and the rest of your story, that section that is the rest of your story. Well, how does your plan now work in the overall big picture of the rest of your story? And I know, some of these things sound so elementary, but when you're in trauma or you're going through the life transition of divorce, even the simple things can be elusive to us and we not see them clearly. That's another reason why we need advisors in our life, why we need someone safe to bounce ideas off of. So, why is this your plan? And how does it fit into your big picture? And then, how will you begin? How will you start? What's your first step? Maybe your first step today is jotting down on a piece of paper, this is my plan for what I want the rest of my life. And if that sounds too overwhelming, take one step. This is my plan in finances. This is my plan in where I'm going to live. This is my plan in relationships. This is my plan for my children. Take one small step, but do it. Begin moving forward. Take the first step. Maybe that first step is a phone call and getting that advisor that you need in whatever your plan is. And when will you begin? Time frames. Maybe you decide, okay, this week I'm going to sit down. I'm going to force myself to turn off the cell phone, the computer, all the noise in life and in the world. And I'm going to sit down with a pen and a pad and I'm going to write out, what is it that you want? That I want, sorry, I'm switching up my pronouns. What is it that I want? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write it out. And I may not even know. And that's okay if you don't know. That's okay. But you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start taking that first step and then decide, okay, this week, get out a calendar. This week, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write it out. As messy and awkward and few of words possibly as there are. But I'm going to get started in my plan. And that is how I'm going to define and redefine my life as I want to live it. So how do we stand up for ourselves? We have to get a plan. We have to know what we want. And I get it. Some of you are in such trauma that you don't know what you want. But now is a good time to start. Getting out that piece of paper, writing out a few ideas. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, and here's the important part, in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your path. Ooh, I love that. I love that. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach. You're not going to get scolded, and it will be given to him. James 1:5. I love that. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. And this is a prayer of David in Psalms. Show me the way I should go, for to you I entrust my life. Wow. A prayer of faith, a prayer of believing, making a plan, beginning the best place. And that is asking God to guide your plan and to lead you and to guide you. So, how do you stand up for yourself? Don't be like my friend that I met this week, simply responding to what someone else is dictating or bullying you to do. Come up with your own plan. And if you have been one of those passive, um, reflective people, it's time to get your plan, to get it started, to get it moving. Whether that's in the midst of divorce or after the divorce, where you can start seeing a vision of what your future is going to be and start creating it. Don't do it alone. Get your advisors, get your network of experts. Hope that's of help. Hope it's a little motivation to get you moving. Get you moving just a little bit. This life has to be created, and you are the one who creates your life. With the good Lord's help and his guidance, you are on your way to a beautiful life and a beautiful future. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, guiding you every step of the way through the trauma of divorce.